So go ahead and let's start with a baseline move. Find a movement that you can do. See if you can find something you do that you don't normally do. Maybe you normally do a squat or a forward fold, or you normally do whatever. Get off the ground, get on the ground. Do something. It's a move that you can repeat again. That's a baseline move.
So can you give other examples? Because I normally
stand on one foot, do a squat,
fold.
take your arms over your head, get on the ground, get off the ground, do a bird dog, do a push-up, do a side plank, do a front plank, do a roll from your back to front, roll from your front to back, roll forward and back. So literally it's any movement that you can repeat again. There's no qualifiers other than unless it's a combination of moves like a 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not a baseline move.
That's a rocket move.
What was that?
No, see, I can't repeat it. It's not a baseline move. All right, and then from there, let's go ahead and come to the ground. Either go onto your stomach or your back, whatever seems more comfortable to you. So again, we will, and you can at any time retech your baseline movement and allow yourself to see how you're doing. Go ahead and lay on your stomach or your back, and then let's just make a pillow out of our hands. Bring your chin into your sternum and let your body lay forward. And just allow yourself to start breathing, and just start with that tongue against the roof of your mouth and feel that length. So at any point you want, if I direct it or you just want to check it, go back to your baseline movement and give yourself the opportunity to feel that. And yeah, there are better movement patterns that everybody has. Like there is, I guess, an ideal squat and or a push-up or any of those things, or standing balance. But it's always you always have to just kind of start where you're at anyway and see if from where you go, your movement gets better. That's why if you make it too complicated, or if you always do the same thing, that's great. But there is literally 7 basic human movements, and then from that there's just an infinite number of combination, or a different number of ways you can kind of approach it. That diaphragmatic breathing, of course, kind of returns you back into your parasympathetic, or balances the parasympathetic more with the sympathetic, and so your body becomes more available to just restore, reconnect, feel, not try to resist so much. While you're laying there breathing, think about what you've done. No, but think about kind of noticing if you can tell, like, oh, my hips are kind of softening. Just let it happen. My feet want to roll out. Just let it happen. Have your hands back by your side so your palms are up and your shoulders can roll out. So when your palms are down towards your front, that's an indicator that there's some stress and tension actually in your shoulders. I know I'm asking you to take your hands, moving them, and so just kind of go into that position. Good. From where you're at, whether you are on your back or on your front, you're going to begin to nod your head. So if you're on your front, you're just picking your head up, looking up towards the sky, and drawing your chin to your chest. If you're on your back, you're drawing your chin into your chest and looking up towards your navel. Remember, you're trying to move your eyes first and then your head. Look up and look down. And if you're on your stomach, you can come to your forearm to kind of more of a TV watching position, or you can stay in any other position you'd like. And this first move is really just to connect you into what's known as your vestibular. Your vestibular mechanism is kind of deep within your ear. But it is the mechanism that connects all balance to the body, all movement to the body. And then look over your right shoulder, look up, and look over to your left shoulder. If you're up, If you're on your back, you're just turning your head to your right and turning your head to your left. And yeah, the movements begin relatively easy, or all the movements shouldn't be complicated. It's just, can you add more depth to them, range of motion to them, and can you continue to breathe through them? And if you're on your back, go ahead and bring your knees into your bring your knees flat to the ground. If you're on your front, you're going to bend your knees and you're going to bring your heels up towards your head, and you're just going to drop your heels from side to side. If you're on your back, you're dropping your knees from side to side. And it's up to you how close your feet are. You can play with this and you can have your feet wider apart from each other, knees wider apart, or you can be a little bit more close together. But the range of motion changes the distance that your feet are up or knees are apart from each other. And a couple more. Good. And then lay back down if you're on your front. And then if you're on your back, you're going to lift one leg up and take your leg over the body into a quarter roll. And then down. So your legs should be about straight as best you can. If you're on your front, then you're lifting your heel up and rolling your leg over the top of your body. If you're on your back, you're lifting your knee into your chest and rolling your leg across the midline of your body. Try to kick out so you get your leg way away from that midline. Try to keep your opposite shoulder for right now on the ground, so you're only rolling a quarter of the distance over. Thinking if your body was 4/4. 1 or 2 more times. And you can notice I'm kind of shifting or kind of scooching kind of around. And then bring your knees into your chest. If you're on your front, you're bringing your knees underneath you. If you're on your back, you're bringing your knees underneath your chest. And then begin to bring your knees into your chest and rock back and forth. Your forearms can be on the ground or your hands can be on the ground. So your knees are going to be side to side. So you're kind of doing like a windshield wiper. If you're on your back, your knees are going side to side. Sorry. So if you're on your back, you can bring your knees side to side, kind of like a windshield wiper, or forward and back. You're not rolling like a ball necessarily if you're on your back. If you're on your front, you're just moving forward and back into a rocking motion. And again, you can be on your forearms on your front or on your hands, you choose. Again, you're still just trying to work your breath. So again, on your back, you can roll side to side like an egg. You can roll forward and back like a ball. Or you can And then if you're on your hands and knees, you're going to do a skier, which is you're going to reach right arm back with left leg. And if you want to lay on your back, you're going to be doing a dead bug, reaching your right arm overhead as your left foot drops to the ground or lowers to the ground. In your dead bug, keep your tailbone slightly tucked. If you're doing the skier with me, you're keeping your hip low. So you're not trying to reach your leg high or reach your arm necessarily over and roll. You're just reaching straight back. Breathing and come all the way up. And let's everybody come up to a seated position, bringing your feet out in front of you. Body's nice and tall, chest is lifted, hands are back behind you. Arms out wide. Just let those shoulders drop in. Nice long deep breaths. You can touch your rib cage if you're on your back. You can let your arms drop out wide. Remember, your arms are out on your back, kind of palms up. Your arms, if you're on your back. If you're on your front, you can make a pillow out of your hands and just lay on your front. And again, we'll go to head nose, towards your chin, towards your navel. Chin towards your sternum, looking up. Or chin looking up towards the sky and looking back down. Turning your head to the right and to the left. Looking over your right shoulder if you're on your stomach. Looking like as if you're going to look maybe behind you. If you're on your back, you're letting your head drop. Look over your right shoulder, look up, look over your left shoulder. Look up and to your right and to your left. Good. And again, if you're on your front, you're going to bring your knee, or sorry, you're laying on your back, you're going to bring your knee into your chest and you're going to roll over and reach that foot out. If you're on your back, sorry, again, if you're laying on your belly, you are going to bring your heel towards your butt and then take that. So you can just bring those knees into your chest and release, and bring the knees into your chest and release the pull. And again. And now circle. If you're on your all fours, you're kind of making a, like imagine your belly button has a pencil in it and it's making a circle on the ground as you're rolling around. And laying on your back, you're just stirring those hips through the movement of the knees and a little bit of the shoulders. And then go the other direction, circle those knees around. And then come all the way up. Roll to one side, come all the way up again to seated, or flip over and just come up to seated. Hands back behind you, knees drop. Let's move both knees. Again, if your feet are close, that's totally fine. That's one movement pattern. If your feet are connected, that's another. There's always another way, and you can go as wide as you want. So play with movement. We tend to get kind of like, oh, this is just how I put my legs, instead of trying to find different ways. Like one leg can be straight and the other knee can be bent. You can play. It's all good. We just wanted to try it. But realizing we didn't just move that movement. We didn't practice that movement, doing all this flexibility, mobility work. Good. Bring your legs to center. Let's come back up and let's just recheck your baseline. Whatever the baseline was, standing, sitting, kneeling, if you were on the ground, if your baseline was to get yourself up, or your baseline was a squat or a push-up, whatever it is, just come into that baseline and notice the difference. And the difference could be that it's better. Nice, Pam, it looks a lot better.
Does it?
It looks tremendously better.
Oh, good.
Does it feel better, or
Yeah,
no
yeah,
idea?
I feel like I went lower.
Okay. And also, not only did you go lower, but you actually, when you did it before, this was your squat before.
Really?
Yeah. And then this is your squat now.
Wow.
So
that's huge.
That's huge, to be able to actually right yourself and bring yourself upright. So, sorry I didn't pay attention to all the other ones. So, anyways, you're on your own. I have no idea what you did. It's like, you know, someone's got to be the person I pay attention to. So,
right in the sight line.
I know. All right, come to the back side of your mat, and we're going to do some crawling. So, kind of in a sense, the ultimate when a child is learning how to move is crawling as an adult, and then the end ultimate really is walking. But since if we walked, we just leave the house, or you would leave here, let's just do crawling instead. On top of that, crawling is amazingly strengthening to the shoulders and the upper back, because you have to keep your chest up and work from right arm and left leg, and really work that oppositional pattern, both on your hands and on your knees, as well as your feet, and then go and walk backward. So you can kind of see, if you start paying attention, how you have to push with the shoulders. And it's not just that you're walking or crawling backward, it's that you're allowing yourself to have that oppositional pull, both upper body and lower body. And so this is why a crawling pattern can really fix a movement pattern, because you can use those shoulders. We tend to so often focus in on the part that hurts instead of trying to find the part that doesn't hurt and move that more. So whatever it may be, whatever, if it's your knees, your head, your shoulders, your backs, your whatever, move other parts and see if that can help. And again, notice how your shoulders have to do more work here than just your hips to move your body into crawling. Good. 1 or 2 more times, going forward and back. Keep your head and chest forward. And notice my movement isn't particularly fast. It's kind of slow, so I can kind of keep up with the movement. And my right hand is moving at the same time my left is. Good. I'm going to go 1 more time forward and 1 more time back. Keep that head forward as best you can. The other thing crawling is great for is working upper back extension. That's a big bug for most people because we have our head down a good percentage of the day. Whether it's doing whatever we do work-wise on a computer, keyboard, phone, all that housework, picking up all those things on the ground. Good. And then let's come back to your middle somewhere, and we're going to actually go on your back. Lay back on your back. Head back as it's comfortable. If you ever get on your back and you feel dizzy, you can always just lift your head up on and put a little pillow or something like that on your head so you can be more supported. So your knees are going to stay bent, your arms are open wide, and you're going to pick your head up, look over one hip or one side of the body, and then reach the arm opposite onto that side of the body. Pick up your head, then look across the midline of the body, and then reach. Pick up your head and reach. So even though right now what we're doing is flexion of the neck, we're trying to move in opposition to the extension of the neck that we were just doing. Pick the head up and reach. See if you can get across and touch. Actually lift up enough, and you can use the shoulder on the low side to push over on. So lift yourself up enough so you can reach and touch away from the midline of the body. Now go ahead and take those legs out. Lift yourself up. Use your lower arm to lift yourself up and reach across the body. So I'm using my left arm, I'm reaching, and I'm lifting myself with my right, and I'm reaching across, and my left hip is following. So I'm here, not only am I actually rolling and getting some mobility across the midline of my body, but I'm also getting some strength in my shoulders. So mobility not only is flexibility, but mobility is strength. So this isn't a common strength move, we do, but you can. And again, reach across, and 1 more time, each side. Pick yourself up and reach across, reach way over. Last time, pick yourself up and reach across, and then stay up, reach across, stay up, and then roll over, reach across, and then come up and roll over and reach across. Good. You can go as far over as you want. Reach and reach. So again, this movement is quite a typical movement. Maybe you've reached over for something. You know, you're sitting on the ground. Oh, I gotta get that thing way over there. Instead of standing up first, you just roll over and get it. And notice what's happening though in the hips. You've got a lot of rotation in the hips without a lot of work to do that rotation in the hips. Good. Bend your knees and then drop your knees and then roll over, and feel that difference in the hips. Bend your knees and then reach over. Lift up, look over your shoulder, look back into the direction that you just traveled, look over the shoulder as you reach. One more. Good, come all the way up. And we're gonna go into the legs behind us. Actually, go ahead and check your baseline real quick. Go ahead and stand up and check your baseline real quick and see where you're at. Notice if that baseline just all of a sudden got better. Nice. Good, nice. Nice. Bev, what was your baseline? And how was it?
It was harder at first. It's still hard. I wouldn't
I
say
mean,
it's better. I wouldn't say it's
It didn't magically become easier?
No.
What?
I'm sorry. The magic just wasn't there.
The
morning.
magic
And you
wasn't-
could sprinkle some pixie
I
dust
know.
on it.
And like, boom, she did 100 push-ups. How did that happen?
Just from coming to a
Just from one mobility session. All right, come on to your all fours. Just getting you up is also nice because it makes you use more muscles to stand up and get back down again. It's my trick. So, so we're gonna start kind of like, so you're gonna lift your right foot up and take your right foot over your back. It doesn't have to be that far over. So notice as I'm doing this, my right foot's just kind of dropping down. And then I'm not really picking my right leg up or my left, and I'm just rolling from side to side. Now, if you have more cushion underneath your knees, it's a little bit easier. If you want to lift your foot up higher and lift your chest up higher, that's another way to go as well. Lift your foot up as high as you can, and then drop your foot to the ground. Lift your leg back up and take it over. Lift your leg up, and keep your chest high so you're not collapsing. Pick that leg up and over. So it's kind of a fictitious thing that you're going over. There's nothing really that you're taking your leg up and over, but how high can you lift that leg in control? Lift that leg up and then over. And you can feel how the belly, how the shoulder has to accommodate for this movement. So again, not only are you stretching, not only are you mobilizing, but you're strengthening. One more time on each side. Look over the shoulder, look down, look up and over the shoulder, and then look down. Good. We're going to start with knees rocking. Just shift back and forth in those knees. Then as you rock forward, you're going to bring one knee forward. So bring your right knee almost up to your wrist or as far forward as is comfortable, and bring your left knee up. Right knee forward, left knee forward. So kind of like when you were crawling, now you're just doing one leg. Now you're going to bring your right knee forward again. Bring your right knee forward, keep it there, and then you're going to rock back onto that right foot. Good. And then rock back, and then put your right knee back, put your left knee forward. Don't take your left foot back, and just rock back. Good. And then rock forward, take your left knee back, take your right knee forward, and roll. Roll back, step back. Left knee forward, roll back, kind of into it half, kind of a lunge, and step back. Step forward, rock back, rock forward, and step back. So we're getting a good amount of ankle work out of this, as well as footwork. So you're rolling those toes, rolling that ankle. One more time. Left knee and back, and left knee and forward. So now you're going to so rock forward, curl your right toe because your right foot is up, and you're going to come all the way up. So you're going to start from here. Then from here, you're going to rock all the way out, then take your right hand and reach your right hand. If your right knee is down, your left knee is up, you're going to reach out with something with your right hand. Drop your left knee, walk your right hand, pick your right knee up, move your left hand. So you're just going to stay on this one side and reach. You don't have to reach too far. Don't reach so far that you collapse or anything like that if you can. See if you can keep that motion steady. It almost ends up like a bird dog way out in front of you, except you get more movement through the hips and through the ankles. Now, can you reach in another direction? Doesn't matter which direction. Can you reach across? Can you reach out? Can you reach back? Isn't that weird? So reach back. So again, these movements aren't, can you reach up? One more time. And I'm always trying to reach with the leg that's opposite of the back leg, kind of like that bird dog. And then come back in. Just bring your left knee underneath you, and then you're gonna drop and forward, just like you did before. Curl both toes and start up and back. So now we're just on the other side. And then again, now you're rocking forward and your left arm is coming out. And then come back. And you can go as far back on that right foot as you want. So if you want to roll back onto the foot, reach forward, reach back, reach forward. Now try to find different ways to reach. So reach forward, reach across the midline of the body, reach back, reach forward, reach out. So you're always reaching with the left arm. Reach under. And why do it in all those different ways? Because you can. Reach out. And one more time. Reach over, and I'm reaching up and then down. Bring your knees back underneath you just to get off your hands and knees. And then again, let's just drop the knees to the left and to the right, mostly because it just feels good. Good. And then just bring those feet out in front. Again, bring your hands to the front of your shins. And exhale. And inhale. Fill the belly. Fill the chest. Look up. And drop the belly. Round the back. One more time. Inhale. Lift the chest up. And then down. Good. Go ahead and come back up or stay down for your baseline move again. Check out how that feels. And if you want to even check any other movement out, like say maybe you normally do, nice, Bev, nice push-up. That's beautiful.
That was definitely good.
That was way better. So again, Bev did a push-up. We weren't practicing push-ups, but Bev got better at her push-up. How does that possibly happen? It happens because the body is ready and able for movement. You've moved it in enough directions, and you've moved it with control, so the body is more capable of taking up a new movement. So it's really common for us to think of, we've got to practice the movement to get better at the movement, because that's the way kind of typical school is. And it's not a bad thing, but you practice math to get better at math. You don't practice English necessarily to get better at math. But in movement, it doesn't work in the same kind of value. It works to your advantage that if you move one thing, another thing should get better. And so it's a great thing that you don't have to constantly. All right, have a good day, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any questions about mobility, about any other thing that can help move you and move you better. Have a great day, guys.